These ones are okay, but you can spend a little bit more and get a much better experience. So hey guys, today we are going to talk about something that is near and dear to my heart as an editor. We are going to talk about sound quality and those devices to pick up the audio. You have a couple different options: no microphone, lavalier style microphone with the cords and all of that stuff, the big bulky shotgun style microphones, and wireless transmitted microphones that fit right on your shirt, a little magnet style. We're going to get into all of the different styles of recording, capturing audio, what's the best solutions, budget, quality. We're going to do an outdoor test. You're going to see that completely unedited. So stick around to the end of the video. You'll find out which one I recommend. And as always, if you're looking to purchase one, we've got links down in the description. Just click on that. It'll go right to the site where you can find these on sale, typically at Amazon. We have a wide range of microphones that we're going to go through, starting with the very budget-friendly versions and walking up all the way to the wireless microphone that we use today. You can see that right here. That's the audio that's coming through right now that you're hearing. We also wanted to give you some real-world testing, so I actually have gone outside and tested all these various microphones. I'm using the same equipment, so I'm going to use the Sony ZV-e10. I think it's going to be hooked up the same, and all of the various tests that you're going to be seeing are actually going to be captured from the ZV-e10 because this is primarily what we shoot with, but each of the devices can hook directly into the ZV-e10. So you'll be able to see all of that. If you want to see the outdoor live capture that we did, you can go ahead and skip to the bookmark down below titled ZV-e10 Outdoor. We're going to go through these details of each of these different various options that we have right now. So let's talk about the basics. We really need to start off with, what are your needs? Are you going to be walking around a lot? Are you going to have multiple people that you're going to want to capture their audio? Do you need to go with a very lightweight, hassle-free option? What is your budget? A lot of those questions need to be answered before you kind of jump in, but you can start with some basic options, including the onboard sound that's coming out of your device, whether it's the ZV-e10, a different camera, your phone, the GoPro. I'm not going to go through that, but if you have a GoPro, that audio, is primarily captured through action shots. So don't really recommend trying to up the audio there a whole lot, just because you're not going to get a lot out of it. So without further ado, let's start with the very basic option that we started with, and that was the Full-Time Filmmaker's lavalier microphone. So this little guy right here, pretty lightweight. It's all corded. There isn't, or there wasn't at the time, a wireless option, but it's pretty simple process, right? You just clip it to something, whether it's your shirt. You can clip it anywhere really that you can get these teeth on, and it just sits there like that. And then you plug this in with the 3.5mm jack. Reviews on this were kind of mixed for us. It picked up the sound a little bit better. However, anytime you would kind of move around, it would sort of make this sound, right? And you can hear that because I rubbed against the microphone there. But you can see I'm moving around plenty and there's none of that going on. But with this, anytime you would kind of make movements like that, you would end up hearing that very kind of scratchy sound coming off that. We did get two of them, one for Sonny and one for myself. We had to have two recording devices, so we would plug it into each of our phones and capture the audio that way. It made editing a little bit of a hassle. The other problem too is if we were right next to each other, each of the microphones would pick up what the other person was saying. So there was a bit of a reverb. If you were both talking at the same time, big issue. It made the sound pretty awful. So we actually stopped using this pretty quickly. So overall, this was very much a budget option. I think these were $20 a piece, maybe a little bit more, but it wasn't much more than that if it was. It did come with a lot of accessories, including a 3.5mm extension. So we could have it, I think, upwards of 9 feet away. But that really didn't help much because, again, we had to have two capture devices, which were our phones that would typically just set in our pockets. So Yeah, like I said, we didn't really use this one very much. The next option up that we went with was the Rode microphone. This actually came with, I believe, the camera that we purchased, the ZV-e10. It was used, and it came with a couple of different things, and I think this Rode microphone was one of them. Either that or it was the previous Canon that we had that we were shooting with in the first videos. But this is done really well. You know, it's got the cold shoe attachment here, so it clips right on top. It holds in. You screw that down. It's a pretty simple process, and then there's the 3.5mm jack on the ZV-e10 right there, and it just plugs right in, and the camera automatically detects it and records pretty flawlessly. Really no issues with that. The only, not the only issue, the biggest issue with it is it's big, right? So it takes up a decent amount of the camera space, and if you got too far away, you weren't able to pick up the audio, especially from a second person. Or if you're behind the camera, sometimes the audio is louder or softer depending on what you're shooting. You know, you need to do a lot of post with this, a lot of editing from the different sounds that you're catching from each person. So that's a drawback too. And sort of the final piece that we have now gone to is the Hollyland Lark M2. This was suggested to me by my brother-in-law. He's starting to do some shoots and things like that, and he said this was one of the highest reviewed sound devices out there. And the great thing about it is it's not really a budget breaker. This one with the full kit was around 180 bucks, and you get a ton of things with it. Everything that we got in the kit was obviously the 2 microphones, so A and B right here. I've actually got the USB-C plugged into the phone right now, the receiver side. So you've got your USB-C receiver that's going to work with Android or the newest iPhones. And then it also comes with the old iPhone attachment. It's throwaway for us. We're not an iPhone family at all, so we don't really have any of those devices. It comes with clips, and everything is magnetic, which is really, really awesome. So this is a magnetic button, this clip here, so I can clip this on something, maybe over there, and then it's got a magnet that I can clip the microphone on. So if I need microphone a little bit further away from me, or maybe I'm doing a group of people and I need to clip it somewhere, I can do that. It's not a very big one, but if you've got a little ledge or something that you can clip it to, you sure can do that, and it's a magnet. You've got these lavaliers over the neck, so if you need to quickly record somebody, they can throw this over their neck. It's got a, again, magnet right there, so it's all magnetized, right? These little cute dead cat hats. I've heard mixed reviews on this, but I mean, we don't really use it for that, but it goes right over the top of the microphone and provides you a dead cat for your little microphone. So it goes in just like that, and then situates to give you a dead cat, and it'll fit right on there. Obviously, you can very much see that. So if you're trying to be incognito with your microphone, that's going to be tough. And the last piece here, if you're not using your phone as your primary camera, if you're using an actual primary camera like our Sony ZV-e10, this actually will clip directly into your cold shoe spot, slides in, clips right there, and it becomes the receiver on your camera, which is great. So I want you to see the difference between the two, that versus that. Now you do need, obviously, the 3.5mm jack here. It plugs into the side right here. You have some extension if you need it, but they gave you one of these coil cables, which is really, really nice. And then it plugs in right here, and it's completely out of the way. The Rode would get in the way a little bit with the cable, but I mean, this one's pretty unobtrusive, and you can even finagle that a little bit to get it completely out of the way, and you're never going to hit that. Like I can't even get to it. All right, let's talk budget. That's probably the biggest thing in consideration that you need to think about when going through this. However, I will tell you that there are 2 options that are close enough in budget. It makes more sense to go to the premium one. So let's start at the very bottom end. You can go no microphone, just use your regular shoot, either your phone or your camera, and pick up the audio that way and hope that you get everything. $0, not gonna cost you a thing. You can go with one of these lapel type microphones. This guy I don't think is available anymore, but there's some other versions that are made by different companies. This is gonna run you probably around 50 bucks. I would skip that. And honestly, I would go up to one of the other two options, depending on which way you want to go with things. I guess it might make more sense in some cases to go with something like the Rode Microphone Video Pro. So this is the VideoMic Pro. Like I said, we got this with the pack. I think new, these things run a couple $100.
This is the worst.
The Pro Plus is like $260 and it looks very similar to this one. I think it might have a couple more features, but it's a good microphone. It's a little heavier. It takes up a lot of space in your camera bag that, you know, a lens could be there, some batteries, whatever. Plus we've talked about the two audios that you're gonna need if you have multiple people. So my recommendation would be going with the Hollyland Lark M2. You have a couple options here, right? We got the full pack that includes the camera mount. This runs about $180 for the full pack. You can go all the way down to just a USB-C only. If you're using your phone as your recording device, you don't need the full pack here. You can just go with the Hollyland Lark M2 USB-C only and plug directly into your phone. That's what I'm doing right now. And fun fact, it has a little port on the side that you can plug in a charger at the same time. So right now we are recording, getting the audio, and charging the phone all at the same time. So it's a super easy, compact device that allows you to do a whole bunch of different things and capture premium audio for both you and a second person at the same time. And you're able to separate the different audio sounds as well. So if you're going to spend the money for this device right here includes noise cancellation. It's got the multiple microphones, which is great for second audio. From all the reviews that I've seen, you'll get about 10 hours of straight recording time. We charged this one time and we haven't had to charge it since. So the battery pack, and you can see it's charging right there. It's showing that I've got 3/4 of a charge left on this. So the pack itself will charge everything for you. You don't have to worry about are your individual microphones charged. You just put them back in the case and they charge up. There is an app for it, so you can check your noise levels and things like that for each person if you need to move things away, or you can even, there's different settings on it to where you can actually pull the noise down a little bit if you need to. If somebody's a loud talker, you can bring their volume down a little bit to help compensate for the other person. And lastly, I would get in trouble if I did not mention one of the coolest things that Hollyland did with this is they provide little stickers. You can actually take one of these little stickers and put it on your microphone here and cover it up with something fun. There are also different other stickers that come with it. You've got some smiley faces. We've got black and white down here. So if you need to go straight black without having the Hollyland symbol exposed, you can do that. There are fun stickers for people that need that. That is something that comes with it as well. So that's fun. Okay, so right now we're gonna go ahead and jump outside. I'm gonna give you the audio for while you're on the move, outdoors with some various noise coming through and things like that. And we'll do that right now. This is the sound coming out of the ZV-e10 standard at 16 level. This is the audio coming out of the Rode VideoMic Pro. Standard level, 0 dBs adjusted. And this is the sound of the Hollyland Lark M2 coming out of the magnet microphone right there. All right, thoughts, impressions, suggestions from us. We're gonna go through that right now. So sound is one of the primary things. Like, video is obviously hugely important, but if you have bad sound, it's going to ruin the entire experience. We learned that very early on. These guys right here, These guys right here, they sort of ruined one of the first shoots that we had because we didn't know how it was going to interact with the two of us together. And that was fairly disappointing. We had to make some adjustments past that, and we did move over to the Rode VideoMic Pro. We use this for primarily almost all of our shoots throughout the year that you've seen so far. We didn't get this until just a couple months ago, and have loved this. This has been a great addition to our tool bag. I hardly ever use this anymore, to be honest. It does good, but to be able to pick up multiple people from various distances, this one is definitely the one I recommend. For a little bit more, you're going to be able to get a lot better quality for multiple people and do all of your adjustments within the app. So ahead of time, you don't have to fiddle with the different push buttons here. You can obviously make these adjustments if you want to, but honestly, I'd rather do it in the app and then you know it's going to be right coming out shooting, and you can see the levels directly through the app with these without having to go in through the camera mic. Now, that all being said, budget's going to be a huge thing. So it honestly, if you've already spent your money on your recording device, I would not get something like this. It's not worth it, in my opinion, to go with the very ultra budget Lavalier recording device. I would honestly save up for this guy right here. These ones are okay, but you can spend a little bit more and get a much better experience. So spend the money on this. And if you need to start out with something like the USB-C recording only jack, you can totally do that. If you need the camera receiver because you use the camera as your primary recording device, save up just a little bit and you'll be able to get this piece right here to be able to attach and get so much better sound quality and much more versatility to be able to move things around and things like that. So overall, these are good choices, but this one is far and away the best relative to some of the other recording devices that are very much like it, like a DJI. DJI is going to run you, I think, close to $400. All right, the new DJI Mic 2 wireless lavalier microphone, $350 for that full pack, whereas this today, the Hollyland, so it was $179 when we got it. It's $139 right now on Amazon. If you are on the fence of what to do, go to Amazon. Here's the link. Put it right down below. Click on that link right there. It'll take you directly to the Hollyland Lark M2. If you see it for $139, buy it. I mean, from a cost perspective, you get the same stuff for $200 less. No brainer, right? $139. If you're on the fence whether you need the USB-C or the camera attachment, if you can get it for $139, spend the extra $30 and get the camera attachment. Totally worth it, because now I can shoot from here and I can shoot from there, and I have that versatility to be able to do that. So all that being said, highly recommend the Hollyland Lark M2. Get it today. Okay, and that's a wrap on this week's video. You've got my suggestions. If you have any questions on the different various microphones, please leave a comment down below. I'll try to get to you as soon as I can. If you haven't already, please hit that like button. Please hit the subscribe button for more content. Again, as you can see, we're back in the house, so we've got a lot of stuff going on here, but I'm going to do my best to get those edited out to you guys so you guys can see our various travels through. Well, we made it through New Mexico. We're going to get into Texas, and then seeing family as we came up through the other various states, Missouri and Kansas, for a couple months there. So lots of footage coming out, including some drone footage. So stick around for that, and we will see you all next week. Thanks.